So, what I'm going to be doing in this video is my Elonex LT386 here. I'm going to be installing DOS 6.22, which will be an upgrade because it's currently running, I think, DOS 5. You can see as this boots up, it's also loading a load of other junk as well, like Stacker, which is a piece of software that does disk doubling. In fact, later versions of MS-DOS came with that functionality bundled in. Double space, I think it was called. You can see here it's loading a licensed version of Stacker. Pros, it doubles the, I think, 40 meg hard drive to about 80. Cons, it takes up some of the normal memory, the 640k of memory, so I can't load some games like Elite Frontier. I've backed up everything I need on these floppies. Yes, I long for the days when you can do that. You don't need a terabyte of cloud storage. And let's just double check the DOS version we've got. Yes, it's definitely DOS 5. I'm going to go for it. This is it's been a long time since I've done this, so we're going to be learning together. Let's boot off the floppy. I think it'll boot off the floppy. Fingers crossed. Sounds like it's doing something. There's a couple of extra features in DOS 6.22 I want as well. I'm hoping this will load. These discs haven't been used in a while. Otherwise it could be a very short video. This I was given by a friend. I love the display technology. The disk drive is a replacement one. It's just a standard PC disk drive. Kevin Edwards donated that. He owed me one, so I was grateful for that. Ooh, that's coming through on the video. Okay, you might see some scan lines. The display looks fine here. Right, let's do it. Set up MS-DOS now, press enter. Oh, what? I've got to get the MS-DOS 6.22 upgrade. How? What? Oh, that is so annoying. Okay. Learned something new today. What can I do about that then? Let's just pause the video a second. Okay, I think I might have a solution for this. So I'm still in the DOS disk 1 floppy and I've just run fdisk. So let's have a look at the partition information. Escape to continue. What was that again? Partition 1 status a primary DOS. So I'm going to delete the partition. Delete primary DOS partition. Yes. Volume label. I'm just going to call it DOS for the moment. Or is it asking for the volume label? Oh, I've got to put in the volume label that matches. Let's do that again. Delete partition, it's a double check, isn't it? Delete primary DOS partition 1, and the volume label is Gareth, my good friend and previous owner. I am totally sure. So if I display the partition information, there is nothing in there. So now I should be able to install DOS. No going back now. There. I assume the upgrade path is for people that want to keep the files on the disk and just upgrade. I'm quite happy to take off and nuke the site from orbit, which is what I've just done. Wow. It must be about, when was the last time I did this? Late 90s maybe? Maybe a bit later than that. Maybe mid 90s. Yeah, because Windows 95 came out. I'm pretty sure I'd given up installing DOS at that point. Right, try again. I've just removed DOS. Okay. Maybe F disk. He's been a funny guy. Okay, so maybe I needed to escape to write the configure information. Live and learn. Escape to continue. Delete partition. Delete primary DOS partition. 1. Gareth. I am absolutely sure. Escape to continue. Escape to... This was the step that I missed. I did a Control-Alt-Delete, didn't I? Third time's a charm. I hope you like the display, by the way. Orange gas plasma. This would have ended up on the tip, probably, this. I love it. I'm hoping to take this to Retrofest in Swindon, running Steve Ruddy's PC Ed. Which was the editor assembler which replaced the Tatung Einstein one. It's very nice. Very nice. At least at some point I'll get this working, connected up to the Spectrum development system. I need to do a bit of hacking around the print port at the back. I wonder if you could install Linux on this. Alright. Yes. Configure unallocated disk space recommended. Yes, disk 1 is in drive A. Continue to press enter. It's quite an adventure, this. Let's check we're still recording. Yep, good. Sound might be a bit bobbins. I'm going through the iPhone sound at the moment. Microphone. So now it should start copying all of the files across. First it will do the boot partition. and then once it's got a bootable partition, it will copy all of the necessary files across. I'm really pleased with this. I'm also pleased that the disk drive works. The one that it came with had a hardware fault and it was locking the system up. Okay, this will be fun. This drive is older than my children, so let's see whether or not it will format okay. Yeah, the floppy drive that came with it was it had a hardware fault. It was locking up the boot process. It wouldn't even boot off anything. So I had one in stores which wasn't quite the right colour. It was kind of more of a beige colour than a creamy white, and it wasn't brilliant. I think it needs cleaning and recalibrating, maybe recapping. I'm not quite sure why Kevin owed me so. Oh, I fixed Kevin's calculator, that was right. So he paid it back by giving me a floppy drive that's not only the right colour, but works flawlessly. Been meaning to do this for a while. Nice to have a lazy Sunday afternoon where you can just do retro stuff. The machine itself is very solid. I mean, it's agricultural. It's a massive power supply at the back. That's the width for the PC. It's a standard 3.5 inch, quite hefty hard drive, and that there, and then there's a floppy drive over here. Standard PC. Right, okay, I need to concentrate now. No, the settings are not correct. We will have United Kingdom, thank you very much. And the only thing I've needed to do is replace the backup battery. It wasn't leaking, but it wasn't holding a charge. And I have jewellery rigged a CMOS battery kit for the BBC Master. So there's a 3.6 volt cell in a battery holder connected to the motherboard. Yes, the settings are correct. The time's about right, 16:38, 4:38, and it's Mother's Day. The settings are correct. Yes, you can stick it in the DOS directory. Now is a great time to fill out your registration card. Keeps you up to date on the latest products improvements. Lets you know about related Microsoft products. Well, some of the latest products improvements include Copilot, which in my opinion is a steaming pile. All LLMs are, but that's just my opinion. Microsoft, where did it all go wrong? Oh, Windows 11 as well. Having to use that at work, and I don't think it's their proudest moment, to be honest. I mean, this is just beautiful, isn't it? So the aim is to get this up and running as a kind of a dev machine, roughly same kind of state that my dev machine would have been at software creations. Thankfully, Kevin Edwards, ex-colleague in here who provided me the floppy drive, is an absolute magpie. So not only have I got the source code for PC Ed, I've also got some of the tools required to assemble it, and some other tools that you used at software creation, so those all go on there. This might take a while. We're still recording, that's good. Floppy drives are awesome. But it's when you could install a complete, fully functional operating system off 3 floppies. What's that? 1.5, 3, 4.5, less than 4.5 meg. And I've got Windows 3.11 here. Well, this originally had Windows 3.1 on it, and that's on 8 discs. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm not sure whether I'll install that or not. It's just going to take up more of my precious disk space. I'll have a think about that. Key thing's getting the latest version of DOS installed. Well, I say latest. Yeah, talking about the latest version of DOS, I've read somewhere that, I think it was in the register, that DRDOS, Digital Research DOS, that's still floating around and in development. I think they're up to version 9 now. Apparently developed using a clean room method. Oh, there we go. Drive space, that's what it's called. So that's the stacker replacement. I'll look into that. Disk 2. Please read. Otherwise we're in a bit of a mess. Oh yeah, so Digital Research DOS was the version of DOS I switched to at Software Creations and at home. It was just far superior in many respects. But DOS 6.22 will be fine. The way that Stacker worked, it seemed to create a bin file somewhere or some kind of virtual disk, and that took up most of the disk space, and it copies all the files across to that, but there's still a nominal normal boot, because obviously it's got to boot into something. I can't remember whether drive space is better or worse or just different. I mean, it's a 40 meg hard drive, I'm not going to be filling it with stuff really, so I might just stick with an uncompressed volume. Oh yeah, so back to DRDOS. Yeah, so version 9, clean room environment. So it's still in development. By clean room, I don't know how clean room it is. It means that they're developing it without knowledge of the original source, and just making it compatible. They've got it more or less compatible with well, quite a few things. I think it probably run Dune and stuff like that. I'll put a link in the description. I must admit I only glanced over the article, so I'm not 100% sure myself. If you have a 386 or higher processor, that's me, optimise your PC memory by typing memmaker at the command prompts. Oh, I remember that. Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing that. I think that's one of the functions that I was after actually, that wasn't in DOS 5. Automatic, kind of like memory optimization. Yeah. I'm hoping it'll make this laptop a bit more usable. We'll see. Must be due for the third disc soon. So at some point there's a couple of things I want to do on this machine. There's an external floppy port at the back which looks suspiciously like a printer port. Make a cable and get a GoTech plugged into it for a second drive. So I need to trace all of the pins on that because there's zero documentation on this machine. It's like, I think I found one other page, maybe two other pages on the internet which reference it. Again, I'll put links in the description. And there's no manuals online for it, you're pretty much on your own. So at some point I'll make up a cable so I can plug a GoTech in as a second floppy drive, an external one. There's also an expansion connector on the left here. Again, no documentation, but I suspect it exposes the 386 bus. It might be ISA, I don't know. Who knows? So at some point I'll be tracing that out as well. Like you do. And, you know, stick the information on the internet for the two other people in the world that still own a machine like this. Reading smart.exe. Come on, little computer, you can do it. Sort.exe. Hey. But, you know, internally the machine's quite clean. Hardly any dust. Oh, disc free, we're getting there. There we go. I am ready. Go for it. Protect your data. Antivirus detects and removes computer viruses. Does this have antivirus? I never remember that. Built in. No. Really? Yeah, MS-DOS 6.22 includes both DOS and Windows version of these free data protection features. Huh. Well, I never. Yeah. Have a disk problem. Scan disk it. MS-DOS 6.22's advanced disk repair tool. I think that's been replaced by check disk now, isn't it, on modern systems? Even if your disk is working smoothly, running ScanDisk regularly is a good way to keep your disk in tip-top shape. Huh. I'm amazed these floppies still read, to be honest. I've been in that box for about, what? Well over 20 years. What's the date on them? 1994. So maybe 30 years. Getting on for 30 years. I checked them before I put them in the disk drive. I'll give them a quick spin with the flap open, just to check for any crap or mould on there. But they've been kept in a box in reasonable condition, so I wasn't expecting there to be any issues. Always worth doing though. Last thing you want to do is mess your floppy drive up. Other floppy drives being serviced as well. I gave it a quick service after Kevin gave it me. So, yeah, that's the. Oh me, why have they made A disc, the shape of the save icon. Of course, they're probably not even a save icon these days, is there? It's all cloudy. Nearly done. Finished waffling. Any more helpful tips, Microsoft, before we finish? I wonder how much disk space I've got left on here. So it's probably going to be about, okay, I was going to guess 40 meg minus 4 meg. So 36 meg, or thereabouts. Now this was full of all kinds of stuff that the previous owner had left on there. I gave him all of the files he wanted back. He'd written a book that he wanted, I think in Word style, that he wanted a copy of, and he was unable to get it off the machine. Originally, I took the drive out and stuck it in a USB adapter to read on my Linux box, and it wasn't having it. It said it was a 40 terabyte drive or something silly. Then of course I realised that my USB drive adapter, ID drive adapter, was looking for an LBA drive, logical block addressing. This is a CHS drive, cylinder head sector addressing. I'll show you in the BIOS in a minute once we've booted up. Oh, there I called it. I think we've done. Is it going to fail on the last percent just to annoy me? Undelete, oh, I remember that. vSafe, maybe that's the virus software. I'm looking at the software that's loading in the corner here. Remove disks and press enter. A moment of truth. Help what's new, right, I remember that. Right, I'll just see if it boots up first, and I'll show you the CHS in the BIOS. Code page not prepared. I don't know what was going on there. Okay, well, they're loaded. I can work out what that error message means in a minute, or commenting out or something. Right, let's show you this cylinder head addressing thing before I forget. So, reboot. How do we get in the BIOS now? F2, F8, delete. Something like that. No, I can't remember. Escape. No. 10. I'm sure it displayed what key it was to press. No, okay, I'll look that one up on the internet. Let's copy some tools on. So what have we got on hay? So that's my tools. So I'm going to make dia tools. Copy a colon star dot star. So that one will be my dev floppy. It's got NASM on it and stuff. It's a really nice keyboard on this as well. They really knew how to make keyboards back in the day. Right, that's it. It's back to the original state. So next question is, how do I get into BIOS? Right, I'm going to pause and let's have a think about that. I can't get into the BIOS. I'm pretty sure it used to come up with a press X key or whatever it is in order to get into the BIOS, but it doesn't seem to be doing that anymore. Now I'm wondering whether or not the BIOS setup was on the disk and I've just scrubbed it. So unfortunately I can't show you the BIOS setup on this, but that notwithstanding, we've got DOS installed, so unless there is a manual, let me just check the manual. Yes, bag. That might have the magic key. I have been in the BIOS. I needed to reset the disk settings. There we go. We have the instructions. So let's see what it says in here. Get reading glasses. Which are awkwardly behind the PC. Yikes. There we go. 32-bit laptop personal computer quick reference. Right. Does it say anything about getting into the BIOS? I mean, it's a gorgeous book. Yeah, that's the expansion slot that I was talking about. I have no idea what it does, and it just mentions it there. External floppy disk connector there. It's got two RS-232 ports and a printer port, VGA connector. Switching between the doodly-doos. The usage of the function key. External switches and adjustments. Maintenance. It's designed for easy portability. No, my phone's designed for easy portability. This is something completely different. No. I mean, other BIOS things seem to be working. Let's just check the brightness. Yeah, I can adjust the brightness on the screen. No, complete mystery. I'll come back to that one. Right, okay. I'm going to leave that there now, I think. I am happy with that. Got somewhere with this. There'll be more videos on this at some point, including finding the elusive BIOS setup. It's getting it set up for the development environment I want, and just general tomfoolery. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.